And now, we wait as I eat Cheez-Its. Once again, I want to welcome you all to this wonderful opportunity to come and watch me play one of the keystone games of really all of sci-fi fandom. Star Control / Ur-Quan Masters / 3 stars. I am going to probably get pretty far through the game today. I don't really have any responsibilities until significantly later, and I won't really have any distractions. So I'm just going to chill out a little bit and talk with Nova, who's the only person in the chat right now, and just wait for people to generally shuffle in. How you doing today, Nova? You are becoming a cosmopolitan in live stream circles these days. I'm actually getting a little concerned if I go into a live stream of a content creator and you're not there. That's great, and happy Sunday to you, sir. And just so you know, Nova, since I know that you are a deep lover of lore. Oh, you're watching the Weekly Sip? Not a bad thing to watch. Dev is one of my favorite YouTube creators, even if I find the moment he steps outside of political and philosophical topics, he becomes catastrophically incorrect about everything in his in life. But that's pretty normal for your average YouTuber. They usually have one focus. They have one, and I do mean one, area of mastered expertise. And then everything else, they have the education of a grade schooler. Oh, let me see. But to be fair, that also applies to me. There's a lot of topics that I have a grade school education about. But also, Nova, since you are a lover of lore, I actually have the link to the Star Control 2 SourceForge website, which can link to the wiki. And if you want to start reading about the really in-depth lore of this game, I can hand that over to you. Not to mention, it's another way for you to download the game and also have a look at all the mods. Oh, the Mega Mod is up at 0.8.1. Nice. All right, let me get that posted to you on Discord. I will send you the wiki, actually, here. There you are. Enjoy, Nova. Where are we? Ah, right. We just, the Pora stuff. Let me see. What can I do right now? Oh, the Spathy. Gotta go and harass the Spathy. That's something that we haven't gotten to. As one does, yes. One does not converse with the Spathy, one harasses the Spathy. Mostly because that's exactly what they deserve for being Spathy. Also, thank you everyone who... no, you actually got it right. Thank you everybody who is joining us. And I am absolutely thrilled that you have come and joined us time and time again for playing through this absolutely phenomenal game. I'm thinking that when I do eventually beat this game, I may demonstrate and show off the Mega Mod and the kind of things that the Mega Mod does, the good and the bad.
Surprise and terror!
Yeah, we've seen all this before. Let's go in and get this over and done with quickly, because we've already gone over this. Unless anyone wants me to go through all the conversations
What is
again.
The secret cipher? We are... No. We are too afraid of the Ur-Quan to consider such an alliance. They would most certainly punish us with extreme tortures.
Love the music for these guys.
Yeah. Well, but... You...
Hey, Jonathan! It's good to see you again, good sir. Oh, we have a bunch of people. Thank you all so much for joining. Yep, we're going to be speeding through the Spathy environment. Again, I like Dev. I do. He is not he's not a bad YouTuber. He is also very well learned and does take his time, and he knows his faults. I disagree with him on a number of topics, mostly because I feel like he, like many YouTubers, is capable of learning and mastering one thing and then marketing the hell out of it, which is fine. I mean, look at me. I'm not even marketing my YouTube at all, and I don't really intend on it. But my YouTube is about a freaking miniature game and some classic video games, so I'm not really one to judge. I do watch a lot of his content though, because it is good. I just don't watch most of his video game streams because he looks like he plays really boring games. Alright, that's that. And for those who have joined, the reason why we're speeding through this part is because we already have gone over it, and then I got screwed by the game. I really like Habitual Line Crosser. He is an excellent communicator of a lot of military matters, because he's in the military, and he's very smart. HLC has done a very good job. and I'm really happy with what he's done. He's the only content creator that I've actually spent money on. Thank you, Nova.
What? What?
My apologies again to everyone for speeding through this, but we've already done it. So that's been done. Okay, let's go to Earth. Oh, let's save game. All right, I have a bunch of resources. I have a bunch of empty canisters and not a lot of resources. All right, what do I need? I need the resource map. See if there's anything useful resource in the area. Yep. There we are. Is something of good value. The Illuminati, it looks like, has good resources. So, as you can see, I have an entire fleet full of questionably useful ships and a couple of really useful ships. I need a lot of resources because I need to turn my flagship into something that can actually fight. And thankfully, I've already done the Melnorme technology blitz. Oh, there's an Melnorme trader right there right now.
Your arrival was predicted by our soul crystal's vibrations. We already know why you are here and what you need from us. However, etiquette requires that we act as though we are ignorant of your desires.
I love these
Now,
guys.
what can we do for you today?
Probably fuel up. Be sure to say something in the chat, everyone. Let me know that you're there so I can say hello. Naming places. Okay. Well, what kind of environment are you trying to name? We got Magma World. Life on it. Weird. What's this? Another Magma World. Nothing of value. Needs to be something of value. Oh, that's valuable. Metal World. Ooh. Boy, oh, that's sulfur. That sucked. You know, for a metal world, this place has shit. Lame. Usually they have a good amount of radioactives and noble metals. Wonder what makes this system so good. Which planet has the real fancy resources? Chondrite world. Nothing. What the world? Wow. Maybe it's this one. What do you have for me? It's another metal world. It's a little better. Look at that. Bunch of radioactives, some precious metals. Not exactly the most friendly environment. Another way to refer to precious metals, like gold, silver, copper, is calling them noble metals, because they don't react very well with a lot of other things. You can alloy them, but they don't tend to react with things very frequently. That's out. Okay, so just for your for clarification, Nova, a noble metal is ordinarily regarded as a metallic chemical element that is generally resistant to corrosion and is usually found in nature in its raw form. Gold, platinum, and other platinum group metals are most often so classified. So silver, copper, gold, platinum. That's today's chemistry lesson. I hope you're all happy. If you also have weird questions about scientific topics, I probably can have a comment about them, and if I have no fucking clue about what's going on. I believe you're right, it's above copper, but even then, silver can form a patina. Though it is more resilient. But it is technically, I think, a platinum group metal. Man, you know, this world had one good world. One. Jeez. And yet this, the resource map says this is a hot commodity. Huh. Okay. Let's check out, some of the Vitaluses then. That's it, Delta Vitalis. That shit supposedly has good resources. Oh no! Let me guess. Cylinder probe. I really gotta do something about these guys. Ooh. How many exoplanets are there in an average system? I don't think that there is a useful answer to that. The more exoplanets we find, we realize that exoplanets are common. So, like, depends on the formation of the system. I mean, we know that there is which is a Tabby star that has that's a few hundred light years away that has like 5 planets in the habitable zone or something. Come on, just die. Die, damn you! Thank you. So, yeah, identifying exoplanets is a unique game of all sorts of different kinds of difficulties. So, I don't really think it's pretentious. I think it's accurate, because exo just means outside. Metal World. But then again, there's an awful lot of science that is highly pretentious and usually involves naming things.
Hello, Captain Alai Hunam. We just like you. Same.
Science generally has the problem of naming a lot of stuff after the people who discover it. You have a lot of these bizarre anachronisms, where people name things after themselves and make it difficult for undergraduates trying to learn. Well, why would you say it's pretentious? It's descriptive. I'm training in decorative painting now. of its gliding is apart. Silver does tarnish off. Yeah, silver does tarnish, but it is that is true. Why do you say it's pretentious? I'm actually curious about this. That's a interesting statement. Ooh, lots of metal worlds here. I mean, you're right. I mean, it's a prefix in English actually, and all it means is outside. So I don't know. I don't think it that argument really holds well, because we also use things like exoskeleton to define insect carapaces and insects in general. They have an exoskeleton. Does that make bugs pretentious? Yeah, just because it's Latin doesn't mean we don't use it in English. The English language goes over to regularly goes over to other languages and knocks them over and goes through their pockets for loose grammar. We steal from other languages all the time. Hell, the Japanese do it. Japanese language has an entire alphabet solely for foreign words. So, you know, I don't know if that makes it pretentious.
Ah, Hunam. Have you seen him? Ah, Hunam. I was just wondering, is Topayov still alive? Have you seen him? Is he well? He was sent to your Earth starbase a while ago to captain an eluder vessel as part of our mutual assistance pact. Rest assured, he will be an excellent addition to your elite force.
I figured.
Those weeks of intense training always result in an officer of the highest caliber. If you see him, please let him know that I still consider his debt valid and expect prompt payment. Thank you.
He literally just owes you $5. Wow.
Same.
I don't think using dead language is pretentious. I think it is fun. And also, I don't really consider Latin to be a dead language. So, trying to make the argument that it is, oh, sorry. Yeah. If there is an ATM in the Vatican, I'm sorry, that has Latin as a language, I'm sorry, Latin is not a dead language. World value. World. Great, Mars is what I always wanted. I did say that, Jeff, yes. We were just joking around. Not again. Go away. For meta mollusks, they sure are clingy. I think I've already been. Yeah, I've already been here. Yep. Go over to Gamma Vitalis. Yeah. Well, admittedly, if he's on the Vindicator, it means he's probably safe from debt collectors. Oh, God damn it! Go away! Go away! Go away! Frickin' Spathy. We were actually talking about in real life how many planets are generally in a exoplanetary system. I have away. Consequences we pay for trying to mine things in a friendly system, is that they are very friendly. Okay. Crimson World, which means nothing. Somebody dud worlds per color. What do we got here? Blue World. Yeah. Magma World. Yeah, I don't know if we have any way to actually accurately measure that. It really just depends on the density of matter in the area. And you have to be careful because if you have too much matter, it'll just form into another star. Magnetic World. Do I have monopoles here? I have monopoles! Magnetic monopoles. Yeah, you should be able to post links, Jonathan. If you can't, let me know, and I'll hopefully be able to find a way to fix that, but by all means. I mean, it may just be YouTube being YouTube and not letting us have any fun. Yeah, Jeff. It's an interesting balance. You need to have enough stuff that the rocky planets in the inner system form. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Not a lot, but still good. Oh, I already have one, but thank you. If you, yeah, definitely do post that link if you can. I'm all down for it. I'm using another one, but it isn't really giving me good results. I mean, Ruby Worlds are always great. Diamond Worlds are great, and Sapphire Worlds are great too, but... Or Emerald World. I did not see it, so I probably blocked it. Thank you, YouTube. You suck. You can, Jonathan. I am also in Discord. You can DM it to me on Discord, and I'll be able to get it. So disappointing. Let's try Squiddy Eye. Let's go to the Squid World. Yep. Again, all YouTube wants to do is find ways to make people miserable. Oh, the Conquer on the move? They are on the move. Oh no. Oh no. Thank you for helping me notice that. Oh no. Turn around. Do you think I have a Slylandra probe on my tail? I think I have a Slylandra probe on my tail. You have to basically travel like 3/4 across the entire map just to get one to go away. Okay, well, tell me about the race, and I may be able to help you. Okay, then you may need to see a doctor, Nova. That is true. Hyperspace does never spawn two of them. For now.
Hello, Cap. By the way, Captain
Delegation of Spathy.
Excellent work. Also, we've detected a minute but measurable disturbance in the inner space fabric at approximate true space coordinate 100 by 50. Our scientists speculate that this disturbance may be caused by many thousands of hyperwarp penetrations, all in phase, as though a huge fleet of ships were on the move.
Okay. Let me drop the resources. Okay. Actually, I have enough I now have enough credits to actually get some more good stuff on my ship, so let's get those. Most critical thing, the tracking system. Boom, now I can actually kill things. So Nova, if you have a feline race, I'd recommend looking at a lot of other feline-like races throughout science fiction, like the Kzinti, which are a really good example. They were so freaking popular that they even went from one continuity all the way into another continuity. Fantastic. Thank you. Yep, got it. But ask yourself this important question, Nova. Are you going to have them referred to by how they reference themselves, or are you going to have them referenced by how others reference them? So why would an alien race refer to us as human? They don't know what we're named. They would give us a nickname. And many races do that. Many science fiction writers do that to avoid the complications of alien languages. Yeah, and you can of course delve into the you could probably delve into things that other languages that sound nice, that sound alien enough to English, that it'll work well. Exactly. Which Bucks means very ugly xenoform. So, okay. An interesting thing about naming of species, we only have one example of a species that has a name for itself. And it's not very descriptive. Man, human, Homo sapiens sapiens. None of these words are very descriptive unless you understand the language. So that's one of the things that you'll have to consider when oh jeez. That's something that you should consider when you're making. Yeah, that's right, bitch. I'm getting fucking butt kicked. I hate fighting these things. But I can at least shoot him down now. So Nova, you could name them almost anything.
We have decided
But
that our Ur-Quan siblings are in need of our love and good counsel. We have waited far too long to return home and heal the wound that has kept our race apart these many centuries. When we arrive in the Serpentis constellation, we will greet our Ur-Quan brethren with warm hugs of affection, which, I am sure, shall be returned in kind.
Now this is where things get funny, because the Pakunk are meant to be depicted as a race of crystal healing lunatics that actually have tapped into something real, but that does not mean that they aren't susceptible to mystic healing bullshit. So, turn back. Our most mystical device, the Ouija board, gave us a definitive no when asked about your trip.
This is an ominous portent. We must consult our spirit guides before proceeding. Unfortunate dear, we will have to return home to do this properly. Thank you for your concern.
So, my apologies. So, Nova, if you are trying to determine the a good name for a alien race, think about what they would call themselves, and then ask yourself another really important question in that regard, which is, here we are. Brown. So that's a much better resource map. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, whoever sent me it. Yeah, Jonathan, thank you so much for that. That's a really good one right down there. Good looking map. Okay, Alpha Ptolemy. Yeah, I remember that one. Ask yourself what they would call themselves, and then ask yourself what others would call them. These are going to be two separate things. You know, also ask yourself, are these aliens hostile? Are they good people or bad people? Because that matters. If they are hostile, people are less likely to refer to them by the name they want to be referred to. If they are friendly, then they're more likely to be referred to as they want to be referred to. As with many things in life. Now, Lathanite. Ah, fine, I'll deal with rare earths. They're not great, but they're not bad. The funny thing about the term rare earth is that it is in fact a massive misnomer. Rare earth elements are everywhere. The problem is their refinement. It is an absolute bitch to get them into a useful form, because they bind so very thoroughly to all of the other elements around them. But, you know, common misconception. The reason why we're going insane about them and, you know, Deaf Separate Nations finding a number of those elements in large quantities, that they're finding them in materials that are easier and less energy intensive to refine from. Nothing. What are you? Please be something useful. Whoa! Oolite World! Yeah, buddy. I used to remember what oolite means. Now I can't remember what it means. Let's see. Always better take the words reference that means something that another language. If they are supposed to be familiar, use a reference that readers should recognize. That can be very handy when you are writing, yes. Well, consider if volunteering in the military is starting a war in their religion. They're overall very peaceful. Well, the religious ones are always, which about, the religious ones are, which about 70%. So let me ask you a question. Are these felines predatory? Do they eat meat? That's an important question to ask, because the likelihood of you having a peaceful race that is predatory by evolution is pretty unlikely. Humans are not peaceful. And we are definitively, predatory as well. Warmongering is a sin. I wonder if they are technologically backward as a result. Opalescent World. These really don't have carbides. So Nova, something to consider. War is Auric World. Here's where the money is. Again, we are only functioning based off of, you know, one known intelligent race. Or at the very least, one known tool-using technological race. And we do know that in times of war, technological development happens far faster. Jeff Duncan, that is 100% correct. Speaking of which, today I'm going to be making mushroom ketchup, which I call my particular blend of spices, Mycon. And here's the funny thing. Deep lore, everybody. Ketchup as we know it today is not ketchup as it used to be. Ketchup used to be made as an alternative to Oriental fish sauce. So it is actually a very, very wonderful umami, providing spice and sauce. Now, I'm going to be making it in a very traditional way. It's also fucking delicious, but it also creates a sauce. It is a very much like a Worcestershire sauce, though I find it to be far more delicious than your standard Worcestershire. But it creates two spices. It creates the sauce, and it creates a actual seasoning, an actual powder, which is the remnants of the mushrooms that you macerate. And I call the ketchup Juffa Wup, and I call the actual dried mushroom seasoning my cock, because I love this game so much. My wife tolerates me. That's all I can say. But if any of you want my recipe for making mushroom ketchup, it takes about a day to make, but it's always worth it. Zelnick develops, considering that we are very likely going to be meeting the Cyrene, Jonathan, that statement has a lot more meaning than you think. But I do appreciate that. Yes, indeed. Even the fact that my wife, who generally hates mushrooms, loves that sauce. It goes good on everything. I add it to soup. I put it on meat. It's just a freaking amazing thing. What do we got? Metal World. Not bad. Metal Worlds have good stuff. Sulfur, lame. Silver. Get silver. How do I like my steak? Medium. Ooh, ultraviolet world. Hell yeah. First crew Whomping Willow, long before J.K. Rowling came up with the idea. Yeah, I actually had a phase of life where I liked well-done meat, and in some situations I do like well-done meat, but generally, medium is what I enjoy. I think I got all the good stuff in the system. Okay, let's go over to the Z area, go and raid their resource-rich world. Epsilon Scooty and encounter them. But also, Nova, you need to realize the question is not actually how do you like your steak. That's not the question you should ask. What cut of beef do you like? That's the real question. Well, also, ground meat for a hamburger needs to be well done, just because you have an increased risk of bacterial infection. All right, we're going to be meeting my actual favorite race of all time in this game. Oh, look at that. That's a juicy system. Let's see what they got. Your friend is strange. Ooh, Emerald World! Hell yeah! Not a lot on it, but who cares? It's an Emerald World. Antimatter. This is actually a fun thing because in the inferior game of Star Control 3, antimatter was actually a waste product. So after you played Star Control 2, then went on to 3, you're like, wait a minute, they have antimatter and it's a bad thing? Just give it to me. It's like the best resource ever. Well, I have had many cuts of meat, but there are a number of cuts that are the most important for cooking. I would say that the best cut is probably flat meat and then flank steak. Because it is not only flavorful and wonderful, but it is also affordable. I do not require the bizarre novelty of eating a tomahawk. How does one contain antimatter? That depends. That's a great question. Right now, our only effective means is putting it in what's called a magnetic bottle, which is effectively making a massive magnetic field that holds it in place. This is great if it is a the funny thing is, it doesn't matter if it is stabilized antimatter fuel, my dude. Antimatter is antimatter, and if you want energy, you can get it from any form of antimatter. That's the part of the problem with the idea. All you got to do is apply normal matter to it, and you have your perfect conversion of energy. But yeah, magnets is how you contain it. And an oracle. Dang, this is a nice system. Thank you for the superior map, sir. I may run out of room. Porterhouse. Porterhouse is phenomenal. I'm still a flat meat and flank steak man, though. Porterhouses can be frickin' amazing. You can. Weirdly enough, you can in fact control black holes by their magnetic field. It is a little bit weird that you can effectively control a hole in reality by waving magnets at it. Insane Clown Posse is probably very confused about this. And I am jam-packed to the gills with resources. I love it. Okay. Manifest, cargo, let's dump the crap. Yeah, but by charging a black hole, you're basically just adding to its mass. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Yes, you can. It's actually really amazing how you can generate energy from a event horizon. What do we got here? Opalescent World. I mean, if you wanted to be a real jerk, you could dump a whole lot of energy into a black hole and make it into a huge cannon. But hey. let's not destroy the entire galaxy for fun and profit. You can do that. In fact, that is the idea behind a Birch Planet, I believe, which is a series of ever-growing, larger and larger spheres around a black hole. The black hole is what provides gravity. Yeah. Full-on spheres around black holes is like K2, K3 level, which we're only starting to scrape at the underbelly of K1. Yeah, and the immortal words of Violent J, fucking Magnus, how do they work? And that is the most simple way of describing the problems with magnetic monopoles in a way that is easily digestible by the average individual. Okay, let's go grab these rads, and then I go back. I talk to the Yehat, and then go back home. Oh, what a lovely planet! This is amazing! I want to come here for vacation. Ow. Ow. Okay, that's done. Let's go full coffers. Let's go and meet the best race. All right.
What am I seeing on the view screen? It's none other than the flattened old face of our friend the human. But, old ally, are you not knowing that we, the Yehat, are allied with the Ur-Quan now? And your presence outside the slave shield and in an armed starship are clear violations of your oath of fealty. Whatever shall we do? It just isn't the right thing to kill you, human, but as a loyal member of my clan, I must obey the wishes of our queen. As much as my heart cries to aid ye valiant human, I cannot. Each of us is sworn first to our queen who has commanded us
Yes.
for 3 years.
Not just
enemy of the
pterodactyls.
crown.
Highland Scottish pterodactyls. By the way, Nova, extra points for using the proper spelling of pterodactyls.
Can't you see that you're killing me, human? The shame. The awful shame of it. What you say is true. We should be under the same wing, but damn your eyes. Our queen has given the Ur-Quan our allegiance, and there is nothing I could be doing about it now.
Ye Old English? Really? That's interesting. Go there.
Human, what we have simply must... Your words are flying. We are no longer being your... But unlike the nobles of our homeworld, we of the Starship clans are bereaved at this course of events. The Queen's decision to be joining... Though honouring our past... We will be letting...
Alright, now I gotta get the hell out of here, because the last thing I want to do is actually fight these guys, because they will absolutely beat my ass. They will kick the tar out of me. Okay, what am I gonna do now? Do this fast, do this. Let's actually fuck around with the Mycon and ruin their day. I like ruining Mycon's day. And I need to go and... Gotta find some Shadow Worlds anyway to get some of those Mycon cases. But do you like Scottish Highland pterodactyl accents? I love the Yehat. the hilarious thing is that those ships are the best thing against the final boss. Well, maybe the Petunk Furies are a little better. All right. That's 2 Slylandro probes. Okay. That's terrifying. Now that I'm actually seeing, that's what I needed. List of Shattered Worlds. Yeah. I have never seen 2 Slylandro probes in a system before. This is new. I think it's time for me to go and potentially deal with that problem. Let me just pick up some odd Gamma Brine. I don't know. All right. It's terrifying, man. I don't want to have to frickin' deal with a Slylandro probe in system. I've actually never seen it. Alright, let's get that. Report from surface. Near an unusual volcanic fourmihole, we have found a fragment of some kind of biological encasement or shell, which is made of incredibly tough, heat-resistant mat of fungal fibers. We can find no sign of any life form which may have hatched from this egg, but we will bring it back to the flagship for further study. I get it, but at 5%, I've never seen it. I guess I've just been weirdly unlucky. Where am I? Ganabrai. Beta Copernicus. We're going to go to the original Cyrene homeworld. Now, in the Mega Mod, when you go to this world, it actually has ruins on the world. I highly recommend the Mega Mod, by the way. It is a very, very good mod. Oh, this is a pleasant place to be. Lots of friendly neighbors. Okay, got those, got those. Right. So I do a lot of stuff on one end of the galaxy, then I go to the other and do a lot of stuff on the other end, because actually I should probably hit the ores, hit Velpeculae, and get the Mind Shield. Oh no! I have to go kill some stuff! Die, you scum. Mock. McMock versus Slush. Who will win? Ooh. Come on, let's do it. Yep. I got it. Dang it, I missed. Got it. Haha. Go. Oh. Who it may concern. Rocks. Dang it, I missed. Timing's off. Dang it. Ah, take that, you. Ah, no! McMock, no! You were taken before your time. Let's do another. Top neck. Ah, damn it, I knew that was gonna happen. Jonathan, I agree, but again, we're talking about limitations within the game system, so. Porco! Damn it! Ah, really frustrating. There we go. Oh no, that was bad. It's okay that I'm getting rid of these Zokfuck picks because they're not really useful later in game. You're right. I don't know if the Mycon would have allowed it to remain intact. I may also be wrong. I know that there are new ruins on something, so I'll have to double check. But the Megamod has a lot of stuff, so again, I highly recommend it. Ah, damn it. Oh well. Alright, time for more interesting things. Ernie! Go, Ernie! Hey, Bert. Oh, wrong button.
Worm, twit. Dodo, jerk, fool.
Oh. Ah! Dude, I totally forgot where I was going. Right, horse. Mind shield. That's a great question. That's actually never really answered. I don't know how big these ships are supposed to be. They give an a artist rendition of it. In the beginning of the game, but you don't ever really get a good scale. Presumably, the health of a ship is the number of people on its crew. So these all could be very small ships. All right, let me see. The Megam. No, so much for that. The Megamod website actually not. There we go. Okay. I actually have a list of all of the changes that were done with the Megamod, so I'm actually curious. I scanned it. I don't think this is the right system. Maybe it is. Nope, definitely not. One of these. I don't know which one. Beta Pecula, maybe?
expanding.
Are you
It is
expanding,
so
everybody?
much
I'm
squishy
expanding.
To smell you. Campers are the best. I have anticipation. And then what? Better parties in the middle for sure. Yeah!
Oh yeah, I mean, 40k ships are ridiculous.
Yeah!
Okay, so this is not the right system. A standard Imperial cruiser in 40k is 5 kilometers long. Yeah, the Sumatra's size is ridiculous. No, that's not it. Yeah, the scale in this game is left very ambiguous. Delta Vapacula. Zeta. Salon. It was in the right place. I'm actually not a big fan of Star Wars scale ships, but that's because I'm weird. In fact, most design elements in Star Wars ships I really dislike. Why do you put your shield generators exterior of your ship?
What happy pieces! I am squirting nice colors. Why? The reason. Camper friends have come to Talo Playground. Why are you coming to this? You are asked if oars are upset. Oars are not upset. You are happy campers. Certainly, you are only slow time walkers. It is not fun on the surface in slow time. If you want to go, that is okay.
Yeah, it's very thematic, and yes, Star Wars did do a lot for the sake of dogfight and space combat stuff. It is insanely unrealistic, to the point now that I can't really even watch it. Captain, we have found an unusual glowing rock thing here on the surface. When we first noticed it, we thought it was a naturally fluorescing igneous dike. But upon closer observation, it can only conclude that this object is artificial in origin, to Halo design. These guys sure built to last. Simple radiometrics show an age in excess of 20,000 years. Regardless of how old it is, it continues to radiate energy all up and down the EMR spectrum, with a concentration of emissions in the red infrared range. Even though it weighs a ton, we will definitively lug the puppy back up to the ship. One last comment before I sign off. Ensign Hodgkins and Witherspoon have both reported extreme headaches and mental disarray whenever they approach the Tailo device. None of the rest of us have any problems. So either the ensigns are just being babies, or the Tailo device produces some kind of shield that affects only certain people's minds. Maybe the scientists back at Starbase will tell us more. End of report. And time to go back home and dump off a huge amount of resources. Should do, since I'm right here, is I'm going to go to... Is it Alpha Vecula? Yeah, and go talk to the Melnorme for more fuel. So everybody in the chat, while I go around and do basically paperwork for the game, what are your favorite races in this game, for those who have played it? Yeah. Thank you, Wars. God, they're weird looking. I love these guys. Maybe, Jonathan. I would not be surprised.
This very morning, I was just saying to subordinate Ochre, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the feet of a human." We laughed and laughed. What a synchronicity. Now, what can we do for you today?
Purchases. Some fuel. My tanks. Peace out. Okay, just for clarification, no, there are not any ruins on the Syrene's homeworld. I was wrong about that. I'm just reading the actual change log of the Mega Mod, but it does do a lot of really cool things. So, yeah. I'll go over one day everything that the Mega Mod does. To an extent, Jonathan, yeah. You're right. My favorite race is an equal tie between the Cyrene and the Yihad. Mostly because they are interesting literary tropes that were done extraordinarily well. What, are the Spathies still there? Yes, they are. Cash!
Captain, you are... The analysis reads as follows. Subject Tailo device. Data, whoever the Tailo were, they were clever, way past us, probably even beyond the Shenjesu. As far as I can tell, with all our equipment, this thing is a rock. Just a rock. Nothing but a rock. However, if you feed a current into it, anywhere along its surface, everyone on board this starbase who has Esper potential gets a bad headache. Well, we checked a bit more into that, and when the Tailo thing is active, all evidence of Psychon interaction is flatlined. Nothing gets through. Summary, if you keep this Tailo rock device thing on board your vessel, I'll bet you're immune to any form of psychic attack, or at least mostly immune. The next entry in the analysis is Subject Mycon Egg Case. Data, We really didn't know Mycon came from eggs, but our analysis of this sheath shows that it's been subjected to phenomenal temperatures and pressures. The most unusual aspect of the egg case is its size. We know Mycons range in height from 0.5 to 3.5 meters, but our reconstruction of the whole egg case shows it to be over 25 meters high. Summary: if a Mycon came out of this, he's gotta be really big. That's the end of our scientist's report. Goodbye.
I agree. The Supox definitely needed more, but there are always limits. Time for more gun! Oh boy. Alright, now I need some actual furnaces, and again I'm out of money. Just like that, I am out of money, but at least now I can actually fight with more efficiency. Oh god, weapons are so expensive. Alright, yard, pop off. True. Yep, that is 100% true. Okay, so now I'm actually well equipped for battle. I can actually do things that are related to battle. Okay, yeah, ores, spathy. Have that. Let's go have fun with the Siren. Why not? I think it's time. After that, we can turn around and go and do things in the Umga Erilu region. But I actually really want to get to the Siren because I need to make a point about them that I really hope Heavy and all of Pistol Shrimp here, which, you know, with 6 viewers in my chat probably won't happen, but I'm allowed to dream. Then we have to go have fun with the Druge. The single most evil race in the game. No question about it. Oh, what a phenomenal game. I love everything about this. I could sit here and listen to this music all day, every day. It's so good. Beetlejuice! 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 Now, unfortunately, in real life, Beetlejuice is a red giant that may have already gone Nova, so they got this little astronomical tidbit wrong, but oh well.
Attention,
and there they are.
Space vessel. Be warned. This slave world and its inhabitants belong to the Ur-Quan. I am Starbase Commander Talana of the slave planet Gaia. Your ship is not responding to standard hierarchy identification sequences. You are therefore classed as independent. And what? Is my monitor display correct? Is that a human commanding that vessel? Who are you?
So, this is... Firstly, I love this race because who doesn't like blue-skinned beautiful women? But also, this is an excellent rendition of what was very, very popular in science fiction during the 60s and the 70s. But actually one of the big things that pushes Star Control into the pulp sci-fi era, which is also the real origin of like a lot of the sci-fi tropes we enjoy today. And the writing is so good because look at these ridiculous comments. The guys that made the Siren like this And then they made these absolutely ridiculous options as a result. And again, one of the most amazing elements of this game, because they were able to not take themselves seriously while actually paying homage to a lot of science fiction in the past. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you would get out of the original series of Star Trek. Remember green-skinned? Yeah, what is it? What are the green-skinned slave race? The Orions, I think? Yeah.
So am I, Captain. So am I. Earthlings are so earthy. But you haven't answered my question fully. Why are you here? Where are you from? Has the slave shield been lifted from Earth? Are the Ur-Quan finally defeated? Simply put, Captain, what do you want from us?
I mean, again, look at these ridiculous look at these ridiculous comment options. I love this stuff. What I need now is a touch-o-vision. I agree. I've never actually picked this option. Should I pick this option? What do you think, Chad? Should I actually pick this? Oh. What do I think of The Fifth Element? It is one of the best science fiction movies I have ever done. I have a no from third. To the even worse one. Wow. I actually never did these because even I felt the cringe. Nova, Fifth Element was the last great sci-fi movie ever made. I have not seen a good sci-fi movie that ever came after it. It was the perfect combination of an excellent script, excellent acting, and I'm gonna do it.
Look, human, get this through your head. Under other circumstances, I might be interested in your antics. You're kind of cute. But we've got a serious situation here, and we don't have time to fool around.
I have my issues with the new Dune. I'll talk about that in a moment.
And so are yours. If the Ur-Quan discover that you have been here, I don't know what they will do to us, much less to you. Now get serious, please.
So, the new Dune is okay. It is not as good as the older Dune, miniseries movie. That was actually significantly better. There are elements of the new Dune that I really, really like. I love what they've done with Baron Harkonnen. The actor they got for Baron Harkonnen plays a version of Harkonnen that is very good. But if you actually read the book, they did a better job in the original Dune movie, which may sound odd, but it is what it is. Also, they took some liberties with what the Atreides are described as. So, New Dune isn't bad, but it isn't great by any stretch of the imagination.
Look, Captain, I like you. Even though you're an obnoxious human, I like you. In another time, we might have become good friends. Perhaps more. But that's a fantasy, and my job is dealing with reality. We're not going to do anything to jeopardize what we've got here. We've come too far, lost too much, to ever risk losing Gaia, our new home. Don't get all judgmental on me, Captain. You don't know what we've been through. Our species are almost identical, almost too close a match to be just a coincidence. Our bodies are very similar, Captain. Except for certain parts. Our cultural development is also mostly parallel. Like you Earthlings, we evolved a society from primitive tribes whose main function was to protect themselves.
Hold on a moment, Jonathan. I'll actually
native to our old world.
I'll get to your point in a moment.
Between our two sets of cultures, the split in the paths of our development occurred in what would have been your prehistory, say 5000 BCE. In your world, the agricultural communities were conquered by the more primitive, but also more aggressive migratory herding peoples. This led to a particular kind of sexual and political dominance structure which pervaded almost all of your Earth cultures until the early 21st century. On Syra, our only primitive migratory tribes were confined to our mountainous regions. Their herd beasts, the Waima, did not do well in the agricultural basins and plains. The two cultures were isolated until much later, when the technological superiority of the farmers curtailed any major conflict.
So, Jonathan, to answer your question, in regards to the Baron in Lynch's is closer to the book, again, that's a matter of interpretation based upon how you read the book and how you interpret the book. I actually like the over-the-top nature and interpretation of it. But again, we all have a different interpretation of how things read. So that's just the way it is. I like the older one better, and I know that's people view that controversial. I just do. But also at the same time, Dune as a story has a real serious problem, which is it kills off all of the interesting characters very early, and then leaves me with characters that I'm not nearly as interested in. And after the first book, it gets freaking weird, and I liked it far more when it was about the inter-house struggles of Harkonnen and Atreides. So I really lost interest, actually about halfway through the first book. So I'm weird. I mean, I don't care if David Lynch didn't like his own thing. I liked it. I don't care what a director thinks. You want to talk about a director who doesn't understand the thing that he made? Let's have a look at Guy Verhofstadt, and not Guy Verhofstadt. Whoever directed Starship Troopers. Yeah, there's a guy who doesn't understand how good of a movie he made when he tried to corrupt the writing of the dean of science fiction. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, Jonathan. He does absolutely bring out I would almost call it the mobster pragmatist Harkonnen, and it does a really good job.
It was our paradise, Captain. Our Eden. Earth is the only world we know of whose variety and richness of life even comes close to Syra. Again, like so many other things about our two species, our worlds were very much the same, at least before you began encasing yours in concrete and plastic. Syra's gravity was a bit lighter than Earth's, and its day was 50% longer. Our diurnal cycle is therefore different from yours. We spend 20 hours awake, followed by 10 hours...
Verhoeven. Right. Verhoeven doesn't understand, is a freaking idiot. He is the dumbest director on earth, but he made a really, really good movie about the libertarian paradise. Even if he hates every moment of the realization, that is exactly what he did. So, yeah, the Starship Troopers thing brings me a lot of pleasure, but a little bit of Zelnick lore. Robert Anson Heinlein was a close family friend of my parents. There's a picture of him holding my baby sister, my eldest sister, when she was a baby, in his arms. I take the legacy of Heinlein very seriously as a result, and I think Verhoeven should be... bad things should happen to Verhoeven for what he tried to do.
This subject is very difficult for us, Captain. But I will try to recount those sad days. Like your solar system, ours had a large population of comets and asteroids. Large meteor impacts, though rare, were not unheard of on our planet. So it was not a total shock when an asteroid penetrated our atmosphere and hit the surface.
Nova, are you asking about Heinlein or
because
Verhoeven?
Unlike most other meteors, this one was not pulverized on impact. It penetrated the crust, and indeed went all the way through to the mantle, causing a super volcano. The earthquakes caused by the impact were severe. The magma pumped out of the caldera wreaked its significant damage on the nearby terrain, but within a few weeks it had cooled, forming a solid rock bandage over the wound. Within a few months, we had cleaned up the mess. The caldera was calming down nicely, and things were pretty much back to normal. Then, just over a year after the impact, all hell broke loose on the surface of Syra. Huge calderas were opening all over, not just around the meteor impact, but everywhere. The scope of the disaster is impossible to imagine. Entire cities sliding into oceans of molten lava, kilometer-wide sections of land pulverized by a cataclysmic explosion, and clouds of poison gas and superheated steam created a death shroud around Syra.
Okay, Nova. The author of Starship Troopers was Robert Anson Heinlein. Verhoeven directed the movie. Yeah, Jonathan just said so. Robert Anson Heinlein is also known as the Dean of Science Fiction because of how influential he was for the actual genre. If you actually want, weirdly enough, Starship Troopers is a great novel, but there's another really, really good one called Have Spacesuit Will Travel. It is the coolest children's story ever. I highly recommend listening or watching it.
When the Ur-Quan conquered us over 20 years ago, I was only a young girl living in Habitat 31. My older sister Diani was a starship officer in the Space Patrol. She was part of the final defense at Raynet. She didn't make it back. When the Ur-Quan caught us in open space...
Yes, Robert Anson Heinlein was a close family friend.
Then, instead of killing us, the Ur-Quan offered us a choice. We could join the ranks of their combat thralls, or we could be slave-shielded in our homeworld. Like the people of Earth, we chose peace. We became fallow slaves. When the Ur-Quan told us to return to our homeworld, we explained that we had none. Ur-Quan Master 9 explained that they had encountered this situation before, and if we would provide them with a list of our requirements, they would use their extensive astronomical data stores to find a planet for us. So we told them about Syra, about the color of its sky, about the abundant life forms, about the fertility of the soil and seas. Less than an hour later, we received a terse message from Master 9. We were to proceed to these coordinates and disembark. This was to be our new home. But our new world, Gaia, was everything we described. We'd been searching for a home planet for 75 years, and in the end, it was our enemies who gave one to us. I grew up on a small island off the main continent, and like all of my people, we lived each
No,
day
actually,
in
Nova, the movie's
the
amazing.
red glow of the slave shield. When the Ur-Quan arrived 7 years ago to refurbish and recrew the starbase, I was selected as the new commander.
No, the Starship Troopers movie is actually remarkably good. It's not very well connected to the book because Verhoeven was an idiot, but it's still a really good movie.
When we first met your people, we've been wandering through the stars for almost 75 years, ever since the death of Syra, our home planet. We joined your alliance, and I use the word joined loosely.
Matadami,
No other
that's
choice.
not entirely
But
true. There's
we're
it's
waiting our
it's
slow
it's
habitat
significantly
And
broader
we had
than that.
nowhere else to go. We fought for survival, Captain.
Yes, the movie is amazing
Nothing
despite a
more.
really stupid director.
When your people on Earth were defeated, the Alliance just plain fell apart. The Yehat and Shofixi retreated to their native stars and didn't want us to follow. The Ariru, those creepy little weasels, just plain bugged out. Vanished, leaving us alone, with nowhere to go, smack in the path of the oncoming Ur-Quan Armada. What were we supposed to do? Fight? 2/3 of our habitat fleet was unarmed. Many aren't even superluminal. We were going to be annihilated if we resisted, and we knew it. When the Ur-Quan surrounded us and started giving
Yeah,
orders, we
Nova,
all
just so
ended.
you know, Verhoeven
Forrest
is somebody
died.
who's so insanely
We took
stupid
him at
that he
face
thinks that
value.
fascism
We
is a
obeyed.
matter of fashion,
In
not a matter of
exchange,
politics. He's a
they gave us
he's a
Gaia,
flagrant idiot.
the planet below. It's a beautiful.
Okay, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Because normally I'd be able to... Oh, right! I know what I have to do. I have to actually talk to the frickin' Mycon. And actually ask them what the hell the Shattered, the D children are. But yeah, so, Nova, Guyver, I think it's Guy Verhoeven. Yeah, he's, Verhoeven tried to make the movie about flagrant militarism and the fascism of militarism and how war will make fascists out of all of us. What he didn't realize is that the book no, Matthew, I think you completely missed the point of Starship Troopers, because the society on Earth in Starship Troopers is not completely militarized. If you read the book, there's only a very small number of people that are actually in the military. The mobile infantry are just one way of becoming a citizen. You do not have to be in the military to become a citizen. They will, however, make you work for 2 years in the worst possible conditions ever, just to make sure that you understand how important it is to do the work. So no, it is a war. It is a story about war, and that is a common misconception. But no, it is not a militarized society of Earth as citizen soldiers at all. It is a government that was formed by veterans, but most people never joined the mobile infantry. What am I missing here? I'm definitely missing something. Fuck it. Oh no. Ooh, planet. Yeah, and they will make you serve, and then you will understand. Basically, the purpose of citizenship was to make sure that you actually had an investment in the body politic. You had to. Yeah, yes, it is true that they understood that the only real metric of what is it? The only metric of determining, basically the only way of identifying what's the word I'm looking for, how to resolve issues is through force. But again, in the book, they make a very good point of explaining the philosophy behind it. And they also talk about the failures of the technocratic liberal democracy and the and of course communism. I mean, he is the meanest person to Karl Marx. He literally calls him the the doddering old wise man of Russia, I think, or something like that. It was vicious about it. There's a really great video about explaining the philosophy of the explaining the philosophy of the movie, of not just the movie but the book. Also, funny note, Johnny Rico was not originally Johnny Rico. He was Juan Rico. Johnny was his nickname. It's only funny because you call him a trust fund baby, and that's he wasn't. The problem is he wasn't even a funny thing about that Nova is that he wasn't even a trust fund baby. He moved off of his rich friend. Page in, page out. The page up, page down button. I'm sorry. Not a problem, my dude.
Juffawup is all omni-existent, spreading and changing phenom.
Interestingly enough, there's correspondence between Marx and his father actually sounded pretty freaking awesome. Marx was just a whiny little cunt who couldn't get anything done.
We are the Mycon.
Here we go. That's what I
These
needed.
are the homes of the deep children. Our bodies seethe with the passion of our genes. 1,000 of your species do not possess.
That's right, Elliot. You can
one
search.
of my cells. I fill with my parents, 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 parents. I am they, and they are us, then and now. The deep children are a part of Juffawup, home builders, the dwellers in the mobile roaches. You impede the flow of Juffawup through the universe. We will now remove this clog. We will now aid Juffawup by eliminating you.
Yay, Juffawup. Okay. Smoke one. So, what I like to call certain elements of this game, there are phases of the story, and we are currently with a phase I like to call the discovery phase. We're kind of late in the discovery phase. We're spending a lot of time finding people. We're finding races. We're talking to them. But we're going to be moving in here pretty soon into what I like to call the mystery phase, where we have to start delving into the mysteries of the galaxy. And that phase is probably where things get really interesting. Now, we've already found a couple of mysteries, like what happened to the Androsen, which, by the way, are my favorite of all of the villains. Ah, fuck you, asteroid. Fucking hate rock. We've already encountered the mystery of the Androsen. The reason why I don't really consider that to be part of the mystery element of the game is that we never actually get any kind of closure on them. So it just kind of hangs over the head of the player for being... come on. Charge and kill it. There we go. So it hangs over the character, but it isn't really important to the story. Ooh, that's a problem. Yeah, I need to actually install it, and I don't have the resources for it to get the point defense yet, so one step at a time. Go away, you stupid rock. There we go. Good resources out of it. Now he's got to get the hell out of the system. Nah, it's all good, Jonathan. Again, finding resources can be difficult. Oh, that was a lucky dodge. Killing Mycon is actually a great way to get a lot of resources. So, we're moving from one element of the story tune into another. Because once I have the Cyrene freed and I can go over and deal with the Druze, then we're starting to play with the Erilu, the Verdat. We start playing around with the more deep elements of the game. We have to go get the Ur-Quan. Speaking of which, the Spathy are still around. Okay. So the game is going to go from a discovery game and a resource collecting game to a more of a exploration and mystery game. To start playing around with things that are deep in the past. And, torturing and destroying a lot of Mycons, because that's a lot of fun for all of us.
Hello again, pleasant human. It warms me to greet you again. Yes, I think so. Aren't they part of the Mycon religion somehow? We have recordings of Mycon hyperwave transmissions from the war. Pretty weird stuff. The Mycons just kind of rambled, never making much sense. They talked a lot about deep children and spears of light, but we couldn't ever understand what they were talking about. What? What did you say? Human, you had better not be joking. Syra is not a subject for Earth humor. Now, what do you mean, shattered planet crusts? How?
Yeah.
Is what happened to Syra, yes, but we presumed it was a natural cataclysm, a meteor. Do you have proof that it was something else? These deep children? Let me see this proof, Captain. Great gods! These fragments, they are identical to the debris we found near the punctures on Syra. We never guessed that the fragments might be organic. To have survived re-entry, nothing organic would remain. Unless it was genetically constructed for this purpose. And only the Mycons possess this capability. The Mycons will pay dearly for their crimes. We will not sit here and do nothing while the Mycon fiends are free to roam the galaxy, perpetrating their evil. You wanted our cooperation in fighting the Ur-Quan. You've got it. Provided you first help us seek our revenge against the Mycon race. Help us to destroy them. Our first step is to get some mobility. We have some fine starship officers aboard, and they're all eager to go after the Mycons. But without our penetrator starships, we're totally ineffectual. So our first step has to be recovering our Space Patrol combat fleet. We know that the Ur-Quan didn't destroy them. They never waste anything. But we believe they have sealed them in some kind of deep vault in the surface of an alien planet. No, that's your job. But maybe we have some clues to help you find them. The starship officers who flew the penetrators to the vault did so with total sensor blackout. The only thing they could use for navigation was the presence of the Dreadnought fleet surrounding them. When they arrived at their destination and lowered their ships into the immense vault, they were transported to the Dreadnoughts and only caught a split-second glimpse of the outside world. As far as they could tell, the sun was either red or orange. Based on the trip time calculations, the farthest they could have traveled is about 200 hyperspace distance units. Captain, we've assembled a small team of our most skilled officers. We will send them to your ship on board their own small shuttle. We feel that in the interest of efficiency, we keep our officers away from your crew at least until the mission is over. As soon as you arrive at the vault, our people will take over, figure out a way to open the vault, and bring our penetrators back here. Good luck, brave Earthling. When your mission is successful, maybe then we can get to know each other better.
All right. Now, there's one thing that you may not know. There is actually a positively hilarious thing that we have to do while stopping off at Earth. Yes, if you... Multiple endings. No, the game has a single ending that you can get to that ending in only certain ways. You have to help the Siren in order to end the game. It doesn't mean that you do very... it doesn't mean that you can end it well. There's a time limit in this game. Eventually, the core begin destroying everything. So I'm actually going to rush up. Bonus. Alpha bonus. Yes, there is a bad ending. Everything dies. Yeah, eventually, basically what will happen is the Korra will begin exterminating all of the other races going around the galaxy, and they will end at Earth base, and that happens, game's over, and you lose. Jonathan, after the Mycon get their asses kicked by the Siren, I believe Beta Brahe is outside of their sphere of influence, and therefore they only have the 5 left, yeah. But in the end, the cool thing is they do expect you to finish everything. But the Spaffy have disappeared! What happened to the Spaffy? What happened to the Spaffy? The good news is there's some pretty valuable worlds up where we're going, so I'll be able to... Yes, you can. I have actually tried surrendering. I actually did it by accident. It's kind of funny when that happened, but yeah, you can also surrender to the Ur-Quan. Oh, wow. I don't remember where it was. Yeah, the march is a bad ending. It's a very bad ending. Not a happy time. On a 7. There it is. Captain, we have located a wreck of an Ur-Quan dreadnought. The fact that there is anything but the hole in the ground indicates that the vehicle has had some engine power left to soften its crash. Most of the dreadnought is so much alien junk. We have made hollows of everything, but I don't think it will be much use to anyone but those egghead xenotechs back at base. We have found one piece of equipment which is relatively intact. It is a huge hyperspace warp pod. The starboard unit, I think. We will bring it aboard. Alright, there's that. Now let's go and pick around in the Erilu area. A couple of decently resource-rich worlds. But as you can see, imagine if you didn't have like the knowledge or any kind of guide, and you were trying to find the solution to so many of these problems. This game is a giant sandbox. It's amazing. We're actually getting pretty close to when we can go and let's go and harvest some worlds real quick, and then we can see what is this. Oh, look at that, a radioactive world. I'm digging it. That is a really unpleasant place. Trick world, thanks. World, thanks. Copper world, not Sanic world. Close enough. Anything else interesting in this system? Radioactive world, yeah! I love my wife so much. She brought me curry. Always a good sign from a wife. Penang curry. Monolithic world. Quasi-degenerate world with absolutely nothing. We found that world entirely comprised of chat. Primordial world with nothing on it. All right. I think it's time for me to go over here and go meet the creepy little jerks.
Why would I ever want to apologize for being in love with my wife? We got Turk.
Energize.
There we go. I'm trying to be polite here, Jonathan. Oh, I just went right past it, didn't I? Green! Now, I will say this. This soundtrack is not as good as the originals. I like the original Quasi-Space soundtrack over the 3DO one. Also, Star Control 3 did such an ugly to my boys, the Airyloo. I love the Airyloo. They have been maligned horribly.
Ha-ha! Our clever ward has found our nook in time. You are the first brave human. No others have made the trip. This is our home world, Falealarofali, nestled safe in this true space eddy. The portal you pass through is a rarity, a natural point of interdimensional fatigue. We use these phenomena to speed our transit through the realities. We are wondering, have you met with the Umgar recently? We entrusted an injured talking pet into their care, and we were curious about its progress.
Fill out the horse, that's true.
I forget myself. Of course you don't know me. You are from Unzervault, not Earth. We are, however, how shall I say, related. It has been many of your years since I have been to our planet Earth. We are known among your kind by many names, some of them flattering, some of them not. The one we use most often was given to us by the children of the Celts, a wonderful culture. They called us the Arilou Lalile. More recently, we were part of the Alliance of 3 Stars, along with your kind until we decided to return to our own, how would you say, reality, when it became clear that your people would be safe enough under the Ur-Quan slave shield. Forgive us if we forget the importance you attach to such events as this. Our context is infinitely broader than yours in scope, both in space and time. Nevertheless, to please you, I shall try to recall. Yes, now I remember. Here is the sequence. The Ur-Quan fleets have moved through your solar system, and you are defeated. Your people make the choice not to fight with and for the Ur-Quan. A shield is cast about your world. Your people are now safe. This makes us happy. The Armada departs your star system and moves toward the remaining Alliance members, ourselves, the Cyrene, the Yehat, and their adopted Shofixti. The Yehat and Shofixti withdraw to Delta Gorno, but they do not permit the Cyrene to follow. We are content with the flow of events and leave the area to return here. From our perspective, this sequence of events ends here.
Elitist? That is such a understatement.
Soon after the Ur-Quan defeated the Yehat and imprisoned the Cyrene and Beetlejuice, their siblings arrived to initiate the doctrinal conflict. This battle continues as we speak. You desire honesty. It is given. We have visited your world for many thousands of years into your species' past. We have changed things, made modifications. Our motives are multiple, our desires complex. Part of what we do on Earth is for your own protection. There are parasites, creatures who dwell beyond. They have names, but you do not know them. They would like to find you, but they are blind to your presence unless you show yourselves. The Androsynths showed themselves, and something noticed them. There are no more Androsynths now, only Ors. No, in a way,
Ignorance is your armor, your best protection. They cannot see you now. They cannot smell you. Much of our work with your people involved making you invisible, changing your smell. If I tell you more, you will look where you could never look before. And while you are looking, you can and will be seen. You do not want to be seen. As you know, we live in a dimension adjacent to hyperspace, which we call quasi-space. Our ships move between these dimensions through weaknesses in the interdimensional fabric. Although many such weaknesses, or portals, exist which lead from our dimension, quasi-space, to various locations in hyperspace, there is only one naturally occurring portal which will transport a ship from hyperspace to quasi-space. We therefore find it convenient to generate our own portals artificially, with focused dimensional fatigue rays.
Remember dimensional fatigue, everyone? Dimensional fatigue.
It would happily fit your vessel with a portal spawner of its own, but your ship is so massive, our units would be ineffective. However, we suspect you may find a sufficiently powerful warp pod, the key element in a portal spawner, in the wreck of the Ur-Quan Dreadnought on the 7th world at Alpha Pavonis. Bring that warp pod back here, and we will prepare a portal spawner for your vessel. We are an endlessly curious species, and we spend much of our time on, how should I say, reconnaissance missions. During one such trip, we witnessed the crash landing of an Ur-Quan Dreadnought on the surface of Alpha Pavonis 7. Normally, when an Ur-Quan vessel is disabled, it automatically engages self-annihilation circuits to prevent other species from learning the Ur-Quan's technological secrets. In this case, however, these circuits must have failed.
You mean this warp pod? Yeah, exactly.
On impact, we landed to explore the wreckage and were amazed to find a survivor, a talking pet. As you may know, the Ur-Quan use these non-sentient creatures for the task of interspecies translation, a task the Ur-Quan find ultimately demeaning. The talking pet was severely injured, and we did what we could for the poor creature. But it grew clear that without superior measures, the talking pet would die. We turned to the Unga, whom we have known for many centuries. Their bioscience skills are far superior to our own. The Unga promised to do what they could and let us know how the pet fared. We have not heard from the Unga since. Perhaps, if you are traveling through their stores, you can ask them for us.
That would have been amazing, Jonathan. I hope they have Ors and Arilu interactions.
What a surprise! As we have always said, humans are a most resourceful and clever species. We are so proud of you, but don't worry that you shall have to wait. We are prepared. Even now, our technical personnel are equipping your ship with a custom version of our portal spawner device. The device is usable only in hyperspace. Whenever it is activated, opening a tent after you. Goodbye, clever child.
I really wish that they had that element, because the displeasure of the Ors to the Arilu and vice versa was always something that was one of those things that was never really explored, but did exist. Get that. Oi. Well, another cool thing you can do if you look at the ores in their ship, right? You look at their oh, the bunker moving again. Oh dear. Manifest. Devices. Fuel. Look at the monitors, the ore ship. Don't those look like?
This is the time of the month we Melnorme drive exceptionally hard bargains. Beware.
Remember that they their screens look like a yellow version of hyperspace. So, interesting thing is subspace yellow?
I've been waiting to inform you. Good news. With no announcement, a small fleet of Arilu Lalile popped into space adjacent to our starbase, scaring the hell out of the Deep Raider operator. But right now, I could kiss every one of those pale little weirdos because they gave us 3 skip vessels. Also, we have a major situation, Captain. As of a few days ago, all Spathy starship captains have vanished from our starbase. We don't know how or why, but until we receive replacements from Spathywa, you will be unable to commission any additional Spathy eluder vessels for your fleet.
Which means, of course, Whiffo is the only one that is not on that on Spathywa right now.
Captain?
Once again, he is
Load
alone
should
and
keep it
trapped.
blazing. The analysis reads as follows.
Or Whiffo.
Subject quasi-space portal spawner. Data? Device is a hybrid of different alien technologies including Arilu and Ur-Quan elements. Our tests show that this device temporarily creates a weakness in the fabric between hyperspace and a different unidentified dimension. The energy cost of this process is extreme, and since the unit's power supply is self-contained, we cannot estimate how long it will remain functional. Summary? Use of this device will permit a starship to make transit to a different dimension. The hazards and benefits of this process are impossible to gauge without field study. The next entry in the analysis is Subject Cyrene Pilot Shuttle. Data? As yet, the field research team has failed to report back to their group leaders. When we call them, they describe being deep in study and wish to attend to a few important details before returning to the base. Summary? Several group leaders have volunteered to assist the team to help them where they can. That's the end of our scientist report.
I love this game. I love this game so much. God, these things are expensive. All right. Okay, let's see where we're at. All right, everybody. I think actually I'm going to hop off for now. We've gone through a pretty substantial portion of the game, and I think it's a good stopping point for us to continue at a later date. Thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you all so much for watching and interacting with this phenomenal game. Next time we play, we're going to be going into a lot of the final elements of the game, into a lot of the mystery of the game, and then probably even finishing it if I want to dedicate more time to it. Thank you all